just you and me, more alive than we've ever been. Wide awake, breaking free from the box of fitting in. So right now, we're not gonna waste another day. Right now, today, we're gonna run on water, set our fears on fire, fly these dreams even higher. It's gonna be us, gonna rule like lions, take down all the giants, fight the rules and we'll defy them. It's gonna be us, gonna be us.
We get to spend the next 2 days here taking all kinds of photos, all kinds of videos. We're gonna get those perspective photos that are famous on Instagram. We're gonna get some reflective photos, which are only available when there's a lot of rain. And yeah, it's really, really cool. But right now, we're gonna go have lunch. Our drivers have actually prepared lunch for us, and we're gonna be able to eat here in the middle of the salt flats, which is really cool. Is one of the coolest things I've seen probably on my entire trip, and I didn't actually expect it to be this magical, but it really is. It's really, really cool.
Gonna run on water, set our fears on fire, fly these dreams even higher. It's gonna be us, gonna rule like lions, take down all the giants, fight the rules and we'll defy them. It's gonna be us.
Literally every single photo we take takes about 10 minutes to actually get.
It's gonna be us. It's gonna be us.
That last part with the squats was exhausting.
I'm stuffed. Whew. What a workout.
I met a girl there in the bright side of a dream. Sweet Arizona, sweet as I had ever seen. Listening to Rolling Stones and rolling in the deep. La la la, la la la, la la la. Drove out to Malibu, got lost along the way. Wound up in Mexico and thought we'd never stay. Cold drinks and hot beaches, we danced the night away. La la la, la la la, la la la.
This is a really cool spot right now, and everywhere you look is just another photo opportunity. We only have, I think, 40 minutes here, but I've stopped to take photos at least 30 of those 40 minutes so far. It is really picturesque, and I don't think I've seen anything like this. I've never been somewhere that's this arid, but also, I mean, just look at that. Behind me, that view is unlike anything I've ever seen, and I'm guessing you watching at home have never seen anything like this either. It's just full of contrast.
This island, guys, it is all covered by fossils that were corals. So that means they were life here.
So do we think that potentially this entire area used to be underwater?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. All this area was entirely covered
So cool.
by water.
Sweet Arizona, sweeter than California, sweeter than Tennessee, sweeter than Colorado, sweeter than Georgia peach. Started with conversation, now you're here next to me. 24/7 days of sweet. And Arizona Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. But I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough of you, sweet Arizona.
I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken.
So right now we're in the Army of Rocks, which is a series of rocks that are left over from when there used to be a lake surrounding this area. And as you might see, the rocks are all kind of at an angle. And the reason they believe they're at an angle is that a volcanic eruption many years ago actually bent them over by the force.
So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting
It's a magical place, it's a beautiful place, it's an astonishing place, and I'm constantly surprised by what's around the next corner. I didn't realize these geysers were here. We're going to hot springs up next. The salt flats were beautiful. It's just been one mind-blowing experience after another, and I'm hoping the pictures do it justice because I've literally run out of words. Right now walking through the second moon valley that I've seen on this trip. This one is just outside of San Pedro in Chile, which we are now. Elevation's a lot more forgiving, so it's a lot easier to hike this one. But this looks like something straight out of Star Wars. It is really, really brown, really, really neat, and completely untouched.
So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. hard, harder they fall.
Beginning to think we should just rename this entire series to the climbing series, because it feels like all I'm doing is going up, 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 and out of breath all the time. But it's always worth it, because at the top of all these hikes, there's always a beautiful view like this one. This brings to a close yet another trip. The Andean Crossing is 22 days, and it's actually really, really cool. A lot of variety. I would say it ranks up there with the Scandinavian Russia trip as well as the Asian adventure trip for the variety of things that you do in about a 3-week period. So definitely recommend it. As for me, I don't know if it's group dynamics or what's going on, but this is probably the quietest I've ever been on a trip. I was borderline antisocial, much quieter than I've been on a lot of the other trips that I've done. So I'm hoping I get my mojo back. I've got Carnival coming up next, which is going to be a huge party, and I don't want to be spending it as a mute. So we'll see what happens, but I fly out tomorrow night. As for Santiago, I'm sure a lot of people watching this are curious how the riots and civil unrest have affected our trip. In a word, or in a couple of words, it hasn't. Certainly you see the remnants of everything. You see graffiti on lots of walls. You see a lot of boarded up windows. I've seen supermarkets that have been attacked. I've seen banks that have been attacked. And there's just graffiti everywhere. In fact, I was just walking around the largest tower in South America. I think it's called the Grand Tour. And I could smell fresh spray paint. So it was just recently laid there around that area. But it hasn't actually affected us in any way, which is great. We've been pretty good about avoiding any of the locations that probably would be at high risk. But something to be aware of if you are coming out to this area. Just be conscious and take care of yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna get on that plane tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully I've got some more energy.